What does this mean about me? How do we remain calm when someone disrespects us? How do we stay unshaken when life throws difficult people in our path? The answer isn't to change them, it's to change ourselves. The first step to never getting angry or bothered by anyone is understanding that no one has control over your emotions unless you hand it to them. Imagine your mind as a house. Would you leave your front door wide open for just anyone to walk in and make a mess? Of course not. So why do we let people's words and actions invade our peace? The truth is, most people's negativity has nothing to do with you. It's about them, their stress, their insecurities, their struggles. And yet, we make it personal. We take offense. But here's a secret. When you stop taking things personally, you stop giving others power over you. Now let's talk about control. We often think, if only this person would change, I'd be at peace. But real strength comes from realizing that you don't need them to change. You just need to master your response. Instead of reacting with anger, try this. Pause. Breathe. Ask yourself, is this worth my peace? 9 times out of 10, it's not. But this isn't just about avoiding anger. It's about choosing something better. When someone frustrates you, don't just resist the anger. Replace it with understanding, with humor, with indifference, with empathy. And remember this, inner peace is not about avoiding difficult people. It's about becoming so unshakable that no one, no matter how toxic, can pull you into their storm. So today I leave you with this challenge. The next time someone tries to get under your skin, don't react, observe, smile, walk away. Keep your power. Because in the end, the strongest person in the room isn't the one who wins the argument. It's the one who no longer needs to argue at all. Why do we get angry? Why do we let people bother us? Most of us spend our lives reacting to others without stopping to ask the most important question. Why does this affect me? We focus on what people said, what they did, what went wrong. But if we truly want to be unshakable, we have to start with why. Could you imagine this, someone cuts you off in traffic, instantly frustration bubbles up. Your heart rate rises, you mutter something under your breath or maybe even honk your horn. But why? Did that person's action really take something from you? Or did your expectation that people should always drive carefully and respectfully cause the frustration? The real source of our anger and irritation is not the external event itself, but the meaning we attach to it. We get upset when someone is rude to us because we expect respect. We feel hurt when someone ignores us because we expect acknowledgement. We get annoyed when things don't go as planned because we expect control. But expectations are not reality. The moment we realize that the world does not operate according to our personal rule book, we free ourselves from the constant cycle of frustration. Think about the last time someone's words hurt you. Maybe they criticized your work, dismissed your opinion, or made a sarcastic comment. Your first reaction may have been to feel defensive, angry, or even insulted. But pause and ask, why does this bother me? Is it because deep down you're uncertain about your own abilities? Is it because you crave validation and this person just denied you that? More often than not, our emotional reactions reveal more about us than about the other person. There's a story of a Zen master who was once insulted by a visitor. Instead of reacting, the master simply smiled and asked, if someone offers you a gift and you do not accept it, to whom does the gift belong? The visitor replied, to the giver, of course. The master nodded and said, then why should I accept your anger? This is the power of detachment. When we start with why, when we examine the root of our emotional reactions, we gain clarity. And with clarity comes choice. Instead of automatically reacting, we can decide whether something is truly worth our energy. Consider a different approach to life. Instead of demanding that the world meet your expectations, let go of them. Instead of expecting people to be kind, accept that some people are not. Instead of assuming others will always be fair, Recognize that fairness is a personal value, not a universal law. When you shift your mindset in this way, people lose their ability to bother you. They can do what they want, but you remain in control of your response. This doesn't mean you become passive or allow people to walk over you. It simply means you don't hand over your emotional power so easily. You recognize that most of what upsets you is a reflection of your own inner world, not the external one. And that realization alone gives you the ability to remain calm in situations that once triggered you. The next time you feel anger rising, don't ask, what did they do to me? Ask, why does this bother me? The answer will always point inward, and the moment you look inward, you reclaim control. We spend much of our lives trying to control things, people, situations, outcomes. We want things to go our way, for people to behave the way we expect, and for life to be predictable and fair. But no matter how much we try, reality often has different plans. People will say things that hurt. Circumstances will shift unexpectedly. The world will not always conform to our desires. The more we try to control it, the more frustrated we become. The truth is, control is an illusion. The only real control we have is over ourselves, our thoughts, our emotions, and our responses. And think about the last time you got upset. Maybe someone spoke to you rudely, ignored your efforts, or did something that felt unfair. The natural reaction is to feel offended, frustrated, or even angry. But pause for a moment and ask yourself, was I really upset because of what they did, or was I upset because I expected something different? The answer is almost always the latter. Our suffering doesn't come from the actions of others, it comes from our resistance to reality. Let's consider an example. Imagine you're standing in the rain, frustrated because you had planned a perfect sunny day outside. You shake your fist at the sky, curse the weather, and feel a sense of disappointment. But is the rain the problem, or is it your expectation that it shouldn't be raining? The rain does not care. It simply falls. You can't control the weather, but you can control how you respond to it. You can get angry, or you can grab an umbrella and adapt. This same principle applies to people. You can't control if someone is rude, impatient, or dismissive, but you can control whether you take it personally. You can control whether you let it ruin your mood or simply let it go. You can control whether you respond with anger or with calm indifference. And when you learn to master your response, you become untouchable. Because many people spend their lives reacting, letting the external world dictate their emotions. Someone is kind, they feel happy. If someone is rude, they feel hurt. If things go well, they feel good. If things go wrong, they feel miserable. But this way of living is like being a puppet, constantly pulled by the strings of other people's behavior and random circumstances. Real power comes when you cut the strings. When you decide that no matter what happens, you will not be controlled by it. One of the most effective ways to take back control is to practice the pause. When something upsets you, don't react immediately. Take a breath. Observe your emotions. Ask yourself, is this worth my peace? More often than not, the answer is no. The moment you pause, you create space between the event and your reaction. And in that space lies freedom. This is not about suppressing your emotions or pretending that things don't bother you. It's about recognizing that you have a choice. You can either be controlled by the world or you can control how you move through it. The rain will fall whether you like it or not. People will act how they choose, not how you wish. Circumstances will shift beyond your plans. The more you resist this truth, the more suffering you create for yourself. But when you accept it, you gain the greatest power of all, the ability to own your response no matter what happens. And once you own your response, nothing and no one can ever truly bother you again. One of the biggest reasons we get angry or bothered by others is because we take things personally. Someone criticizes us and we feel attacked. Someone ignores us and we feel disrespected. Someone outshines us and we feel insecure. But the truth is, most of what people do has nothing to do with us. It's not about you. It never was. The real issue isn't what others say or do. It's the ego that convinces us that we are at the center of everything. The ego is that voice in your mind that says, I deserve better. I should be recognized. I should be treated with respect. It feeds off validation, control, and self-importance. But the more we let the ego run our emotions, the easier it is for people to trigger us. If someone questions our abilities, the ego rushes in to defend itself. If someone insults us, the ego demands revenge. But when you detach from the ego, something incredible happens. You stop reacting. Imagine this. You're walking down the street and a stranger yells an insult at you. Your ego wants to fight back. It wants to prove something, to restore its sense of importance. But what if you simply didn't take it personally? What if you saw that person's outburst for what it really is, a reflection of their state of mind, not yours? When you detach from the ego, you realize that most of people's words and actions come from their own struggles, fears, and insecurities. And when you see that, their words lose power over you. Think about the times you've been upset by someone's actions. Were they truly trying to harm you, or were they simply acting from their own pain? A rude cashier might be having a terrible day. A friend who snaps at you might be struggling with stress. A boss who doesn't acknowledge your work might be lost in their own worries. But if you let the ego take over, it will convince you that these actions are attacks on you, that they are personal, that you must defend yourself. But in reality, people's behavior is rarely about us, it's about them. Letting go of the ego doesn't mean allowing people to mistreat you. It means recognizing that you don't need to react to everything. It means understanding that your worth is not determined by the way others treat you.